We're going to take a quick look at a fairly common problem with Manage Comics. So sometimes if you go to your subscription page, you'll see that it's completely empty. First thing we're going to do is go into the Manage Comics subscription app, and we're going to hit on Settings, and we're going to hit Update the subscription page. 95% of the time, this will fix our issue. So if we refresh our page, see that the issue did not get fixed. So we're going to take a look at what another possible thing can be. First thing we're going to do is we will go into Online Store, and we're going to click on Pages, and just make sure that the subscription page exists. So if we click that last button, it should have regenerated if for some reason we deleted it. But in here, I'm going to look at it, and I see that my template is the default page. I have some other options of what my template could be. It might be you've already created a subscriptions page, and if you have, this is probably a good thing to use. But let's just pretend I haven't, and so I only have the default page. So again, I'm going to just save this guy. So if I had saved it, is it working? No. All right, so now we're going to go into our themes. So we're going to go Online Store Themes, and we're going to click Customize. And in this top menu here, we're going to go down to Pages, and we're going to look at what our default page looks like. So right here, we can see that there is an eyeball that is closed on the page content. So that page content is actually kind of the chewy middle that has some secret code in here that allows the Manage Comics pages to work. So if I just unhide that thing and click Save, and this is going to show whatever my kind of base content is. If I go back and refresh on my home page, boom, my subscriptions are working. But I don't love them. So in this same place that I was before, I'm going to go into Pages, and now I can create a new template. And let me just call this one Manage Comics. And I'm going to base it on the default page. I'm going to create that template. And in this, I am going to have that page information. I can also add a custom liquid page. And from here, I can add a little bit of code into this custom liquid page, which will make my page a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and add that code, and you'll find this on the help page here. So I've added this liquid code that puts an ID there, which will let Manage Comics render, and then I put a hide the main page title below it. I'm also going to add myself a section, and I'll do the image banner section, and I'm just going to move this guy all the way to the top, and I'm going to call this subscriptions, and I'm going to close this, and I'll close this. I'm going to make sure that that is the large logo. And I can kind of adjust the size of this guy. I want it to be the smallest possible. And then I'm just going to replace my image and put something fun. So I've added my Bob's Comics backdrop, and I am going to change the color scheme to something that I like. And now I save that out. And I go back to Bob's Comics, and I go back to Bob's Comics, and I go to subscriptions, and I refresh. It now uses our new template. So we've got our little subscriptions banner up here, and everything's nice and wide, and there we go. If we want to constrain this to 1200 pixels, we could also add a little bit of extra code in the CSS of our page to say that that Manage Comics ID should stay at 1200 pixels. So if we add that custom CSS right here, that will make that happen. And with that little bit of code, we now have a nice narrow page for Manage Comics, but it still has room to breathe, and everything looks really nice in here. And you can customize that template as much as you want now that you've created your own individual page template for Manage Comics. I'm going to reword all that. And now that you've created your own dedicated template for Manage Comics, you can go in and edit this however you'd like and change things around. So if you want to even remove that image banner, you certainly can. You can shrink it or raise it. You know, you can do this little guy here, which removes some of the padding around the actual page. You can even do some things around here to make this guy shorter or larger. So by all means, get in there and play around and figure out exactly what you want to do with it. That is how to troubleshoot the Manage Comics pages when they don't show up.